then you want to take into then you want to take into then you want to take into whoa. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you have never seen my face before, my name is Brianna. Hi, stay a while. As of today, which is May 26th, it is currently 29 days until I am on my way to South Korea. Not that I'm counting, I definitely am. This summer, I get to spend 6 weeks in Seoul, South Korea, studying at Korea University, and I am very excited. And today I will be talking about the application process and everything you need to know about studying abroad, not only for South Korea, but I will also be giving you all some general information about just choosing where you want to go, what types of programs there are to offer, and things like that. So let's get started. First thing I want to talk about is why you should be studying abroad as a college student. I don't know about you all, but it took a lot of convincing to convince my mom to let me go to South Korea or just anywhere in general. She was really scared for me, as all mothers are, but I knew that this is something that I really wanted to do ever since high school. When I was applying for colleges, one of the main things I was looking for was a university that had a very extensive study abroad program. So she knew that this is something that was going to come up eventually, but when it finally did, it kind of hit her hard. So I'm just going to tell you all what I told my mom in order for her to let me study abroad, because you might be in the same situation as me where I have very protective mom, or you have very strict parents and they might be worried about you going halfway across the world for 6 weeks. The first point I have is do it while you can. As a college student, a lot of the programs out there are catered towards you and made it so it's easy for you to go abroad. They can help you with financial aid and the application process and all that. It's all set out for you. So really, you just have to apply and meet the requirements. So a little bit of background about myself. I am a junior at the University of South Florida, and I am studying marketing with an interest in digital marketing and a minor in global business. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to dip my toes into the global aspect of the career that I want to go into. Studying abroad can also help you with career readiness. It can help you build global competency, make you a stronger applicant for internships and jobs after you graduate. And if you're going into a global field like myself, you are really going to need that. And it'll just give you the necessary skills to be able to go into the workforce, like being able to adapt very quickly and adjusting into new environments, which is something that is going to be true for a lot of us when we graduate college or looking for internships and stuff like that, because it's a new environment for you, just like starting university is a new environment. If you see me looking down, it's because I have my notes on my iPad here. The second point is to plan ahead. The longer your study abroad program is, the further ahead you have to plan. Ideally, you want to start planning for your trip 1 year in advance, and this is to make time for visa requirements, saving, passports. All these things take a while to plan, so you want to do it really far ahead. I always knew that I wanted to study abroad, so year after year, or for the past 2 years, I've made sure that I've had my passports, and being that it's the pandemic, that I am up to date with my vaccination. So I got vaccinated in November. I made sure that my passport was not going to expire while I was abroad. I started the official application process in January through the program that I'm going to, but I was familiar with the process because I wanted to study abroad last spring. So there were some things that I already had that I didn't have to do the second time around when I was applying again. Research, y'all. You want to be familiar with the country that you're going into. You want to explore different options for countries that you could go to and accommodate your interests. I know for me, I did not want to go anywhere that was too cold. I am a Caribbean girl through and through. I am a Florida girl through and through. So it was important for me to go somewhere that was warm at the time that I was going to study abroad there. The best choice being that I wanted to go to South Korea was to go during the summer or during the spring, where the spring had a little bit of cold during the first couple of months, but then it would be spring. So yeah. When you're looking into the countries that you want to go to, you also want to research the most common modes of transportation. So in South Korea, that is the subway and bus system. They have a very efficient public transportation system, but if you're going somewhere that does not, you want to take that into consideration. Now that you know you want to study abroad and you're in the process of planning, The next thing is to choose a program. So my university has 3 different programs that we can choose from. The first one is the faculty-led program, and I'm just going to read off from my university's website what it says for faculty-led programs. Faculty-led programs are designed by your university and for its students. They are ideal for students who are looking for an experience that mirrors academic standards, offers credits, and fits easily into their degree program. And these are typically shorter in length. The second type of program is actually the most common type of program, and that is the exchange programs. And exchange programs are basically, I'm going to foreign university and student from foreign university is coming to my home university. And for exchange programs, you are paying the same tuition as if you were going to be spending a regular semester at home. And I'm also going to read the description that my university has for exchange programs. Exchange programs are among the most immersive and affordable experience. Students spend their entire semester or academic year attending a partner school. The cost of instruction is paid to the home university and is priced similarly to a full-time semester of resident tuition at home university. And students are integrated into classes with local students and truly get a taste for living in that host country. So my program is not a true exchange program because I am not paying my university, I am paying the program directly. And the type of program that I am doing is an affiliate program. Affiliate programs are organized by study abroad provider institutions which your home university has an agreement with. Students will receive transfer credits, and these programs expand the number of opportunities available to students, both in terms of destination and subject matter. They are operated and recognized by reliable study abroad providers as well. So the program I'm doing is the Education Abroad Network, and they partner with my university, and I will be paying them directly for the program. Being that they partner with my university too, it's basically like an exchange program. So the most popular affiliate programs at my university, and also if your university does not partner with them, you can apply to. These are the Education Abroad Network, which is what I'm doing, Semester, which is like a semester at sea. You basically spend like a whole semester on a cruise ship traveling to different countries. There's also International Studies Abroad, the ISA program, as well as CIEE, which is the Council for International Education Exchange. And TEEN is really, really good, and they're very thorough. I have a great study abroad advisor with that program, and she has helped me through the whole process. Now I'm gonna get into the application requirements for studying abroad in South Korea. So this is more catered to people that want to go to South Korea through TEEN or through Korea University. The first application requirement is that you have to be fully vaccinated. As of last month, being fully vaccinated to be exempt from quarantine means that it has been at least 14 days or less than 180 days since your last dose of COVID. Since my second dose of the COVID vaccine was in November of 2021, which was well over 180 days ago, I would have to quarantine. But I have not gotten my booster yet. If I'm getting my booster vaccine this weekend, I would fall within that time frame of more than 14 days, but less than 180 days, and I would not have to quarantine. If you already got your booster, or if you are not vaccinated, then you would have to quarantine for South Korea, but they are lifting some restrictions, so that might change. This is not the requirement only for study abroad. This is also the requirement for just entering into the country as well. Other than being fully vaccinated, I also had to have a personal statement, a recommendation letter, and meet the minimum requirement of a 2.5 GPA. So for the personal statement, you'll basically be talking about why you want to study abroad, what made you choose a program that you're choosing, and why you want to go to that specific country. I was applying to multiple study abroad programs at the same time, all in Seoul, South Korea. So what I did is I made one personal statement and I catered all of them towards the different universities. For the summer with TEEN, you only need one recommendation letter. But if you're going in the fall or the spring, you would need 2 recommendation letters. And this is written by an advisor, a professor that you're really close to. Sometimes you can get your mom to write it for you, so they can boost you up and say, oh my God, this student, this person, my daughter, my son is the most beautiful person ever, and they're the best person ever, and this is why they should be allowed to go to this program. Next, I'm going to be talking about the passport and visa requirements. This is the most daunting and longest part of applying to study abroad, so bear with me here. The first thing you need to do is make sure that your passport is valid. If you do not have a passport, you have to apply for one, and that takes a while. Getting a new passport takes time, so do this early. Thankfully for me, I travel a lot, so I already have a passport, and I don't have to get it renewed until next year, so I was all set in that sense. This next point is specific to South Korea. Because I am studying abroad in the summer and I am a US citizen, I do not need a visa, and all I have to do is apply for the KETA. I forgot what that stands for, but I'll have it right over here. And this is basically like a travel authorization that you need to get into the country, and it's like a visa essentially. If you're going for a longer period of time as a student, you would have to apply for a student visa, but I'll have a link down below on which visa you would have to apply for and what you would need for that visa. Another point, if you already have your passport, you have to make sure that it will be valid for at least 6 months after you come back. My passport expires exactly at the 6-month point, so I was really lucky in that sense, and I did not have to reapply and renew my passport. Just a quick tip for international travel everywhere is always have a picture and a photocopy of your passport or your ID. I'm gonna print out 3 copies of my passport and my driver's license just so I can have it in case. And you also want to have a photocopy and a picture of your vaccination card, because you may get stopped somewhere and they ask you for your vaccine card, and if you don't have it on you, you can show them that picture or the printed photocopy. Next, we're going to be talking about saving. Studying abroad is not free. No matter how many videos out there say how to study abroad for free, how I got my whole semester paid for, you will always have some out-of-pocket expenses, whether that be visa, passports, if you don't have clothes for the weather of where you're going to, things like that. You have to take those into consideration and start saving for them. Before you even start saving is think about financial aid. Ask yourself these questions. Will my financial aid from home be valid for my study abroad program? Does my program have financial aid that I can apply for? What are those scholarships that I can apply for? So even though I am doing an affiliate program and I'm not going directly through my university, the financial aid that I would get for a regular summer semester, I'm getting that back in the form of a refund check. So for 6 weeks at Korea University through the Education Abroad Network, it will cost me $5,750, and my refund check will be for $3,800. The second point is that you also want to research the cost of living. So for a lot of Asian countries, South Korea included, the cost of living is relatively less when you compare it to the United States. So I was saving for my means and also for the cost of living over there and how much my dollar would weigh abroad. You know yourself best, so save for your spending habits. I know that while I'm there, I'm gonna want to buy clothes, and I like to eat, and I want to explore the city. So I'm saving enough money so I can do all of these things. You want to save for your means and then some, because you always want to have extra for emergencies or for unexpected plans as well. You don't want to save the exact amount of what you think you will be spending. It's always better to save more than to save too little. What I did to start saving and some of the research that I did was I kept track of my monthly spending, and I multiplied that by 1.5 to see how much I would need for 1 month. And if I'm saving for the equivalent of the US dollar, when I get to South Korea, it'll yield more because the cost of living is less over there, and on average things cost less. This is what I mean by keeping in mind the weight of your dollar. Now I'm just going to go over some math that I did to see how much I would need to save for 6 weeks in South Korea. I multiplied $40 a day by 7 days a week, and that gives me $280 a week. Realistically, I am not spending $40 a day or $280 a week at that, but I'm going on vacation basically, and I want to save for that. So I gave myself a lot of wiggle room, and this is including unexpected plans, if I want to go to amusement park, things like that, buying stuff while I'm over there. And I'm also keeping in mind there are some things that I'm going to have to buy to make my living over there a little bit more comfortable. So I want to have extra money set aside to buy those things, like hangers, for example. That's not something that you think about, but how are you gonna hang all your clothes? You're gonna have to buy it when you get there, so you need to save for that, and you need money for that. If I have $280 a week for 6 weeks, that is $1,680 for the summer semester that I am doing, and I added $300 for extracurriculars, if I wanna get my nails done, if I'm going to a fancy restaurant for some reason, and for like knickknacks and souvenirs that I want to buy for my friends and family. So the total for what I would need, taking into consideration all these things that I just mentioned, would be $1,980. That's a lot of money, y'all. That is a lot of money. And then I rounded up, so $2,000 basically. You can get by with way less, but I know myself, and I know I want to buy souvenirs for my friends and family. And if that money is left over for me for when I come back, that is great. But if I do end up spending all of it, at least I prepped for that and I gave myself that wiggle room. The next point I want to talk about is learning the language. Should you learn the language for the country that you are going to? In short, 1,000% yes. Do you have to be an expert, however? No. If you're going to a country where the official language is not the same as your home, then you want to know at least a little bit. And I'm not an expert in Korean by any means, not at all. But because I'm going to be there for a while, I want to know how to read in Hangul, which is the Korean alphabet. I want to know how to introduce myself. I want to know some key phrases as well. So there's just a little bit of things. I don't have to be an expert, but I should be able to get around a little bit. And you also want to know key phrases like my blah 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 is not good, so I want to know how to say my Korean is not very good. And there's always translator apps. Do not be afraid to pull out your phone and translate, because I'd rather have the 3-second moment of embarrassment of having to type into my phone what I need to say than potentially getting lost somewhere. So don't be afraid of those translator apps. The last thing you want to be is the ignorant foreigner that expects everyone to accommodate to them. You are going to a foreign country and they're not going to roll out the red carpet for you. Obviously, people will understand that this is not your home country and they will recognize you as a foreigner. They're not going to have high expectations for you, but you don't want to like crumble those expectations by not even trying to learn the language or not even trying to get immersed in the culture, because that's what you're there for a cultural exchange. So you want to know a little bit about the culture, and the first step to that is to learn some of the language. Hangul is actually a relatively simple character-based alphabet to learn compared to like Mandarin or Japanese. And down below, I'm going to link some resources that I used to learn Hangul and to learn Korean. The final point that I want to go over is the study and study abroad. You're going to this foreign country to study, hence the study abroad. This is a cultural exchange and it's going to be a lot of fun, and you're going there to explore the city and learn the language and have fun, but you still want to study and you still want to be on top of your work because you want those credits to transfer back. The educational style might be different than what you're used to, so you want to be able to adapt to this different learning style. Another thing is to go to class, y'all. I know in the US, for most universities, you can skip a class or two and still pass the class. At least at my university, most professors do not take attendance. You might not know the attendance policy for the university that you're going to, so it's better to be safe than sorry and just go to class and be punctual. Even if that's out of your norm, try for this semester abroad. To prepare for studying abroad, I also had to talk to my academic advisor so that she could approve my courses and make sure that the credits that I'm taking will be able to transfer back. So when I was looking for classes on the Korea University website and cross-referencing them with classes at my home university, I made a chart that looks like this, and it had a column for USF course code and USF course name, and then Korea University course code and Korea University course name. And I also had a section where I put whether the course was approved or not. And the syllabus is how they would decide whether or not the credits will be able to transfer over. So what I had to do after I researched all the classes that could be potentials for me to take while I'm at Korea University, I downloaded and printed all of the syllabi for those classes. What my academic advisor did is once I gave her the syllabi for all of these classes, she took them and sent them to the department heads for that class because they know the class best and they would cross-reference it with their own syllabi. So for example, for Principles of Finance, which is one of the classes that I am taking, I downloaded the Korea University Principles of Finance syllabi, gave it to my academic advisor, and she sent it to the department head of the School of Accountancy at my university, and they were able to say, yes, this is the same as the syllabi or similar to the material that we cover in Principles of Finance at USF. So she can take this class over there and the credits will transfer. All right, everyone, that is all the information I had for you all today. I hope it was informative. I know it was a lot. If you have any questions or you want me to elaborate on something, please feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tune back in for more videos. I am going to document my whole study abroad experience, and my next video on studying abroad is going to be about packing and what I'm bringing with me and all of the Vanic shopping that I did for this trip. But that's neither here nor there. That is for the next video. But I hope you enjoyed and have a beautiful day. Bye!